Good evening. Welcome back to Dining 101. This is the companion webisode to dining101.net, the website you should really check out. It's a lot of fun. You might learn a thing or two. I'm your host, Mr. Wolfe. All right, let's get into it. This is our fourth webisode. The last couple of webisodes dealt with taking your place at the table and the place setting. Plus, we talked about some really fun stuff like the menu roll, which, if you missed it last week, was when your menu is open. The waiter's not going to come to get your order because he thinks you haven't made up your mind yet. All you got to do is close the menu, and then it looks like you've made up your mind, so he'll come right over and take your order or maybe answer your question. So I thought we'd just pick up where we left off last week and get right back to the place setting here. We talked a little bit last week about the bread plate and how it doesn't go over here because it's not your appetizer or your amuse-bouche. It stays over here, and it's pretty much just for your bread and butter. Now, the bread and butter may be served before you're ready to order, or may be served after you've made your selections. It should be served after you've made your selections because you're not supposed to start eating the bread until after you've placed your order. That's the rule. I know you're hungry, but you don't want to get the menu all schmutzed up with a bunch of butter and oil and garlic and bread and crumbs and whatnot. So let's pretend you've made your selections, menus are gone, you're having a good time, cocktails are there, bread is served. Again, the bread, you're not going to grab a bunch of bread and make a butter sandwich. You're going to take your one personal slice or roll or unit of bread, whatever it is, put it on your bread plate, leave it right here, and then take just enough butter or oil or whatever they give you for your meal. And that's going to be your bread for your whole meal. And you probably don't want to mow the whole thing down because that might come in handy later when you want to push your salad onto your fork or when you want to sop up that last little bit of sauce from your pasta carbonara or whatever you happen to order. So take what you need. But remember, you're going to need that later when your food starts arriving, so don't mow the whole thing down. And really, if you want to start eating it now, the way to do it is just break off enough that you're going to eat in one shot and butter that one little individual piece of your original piece, or oil it, or whatever you're going to do with it, and then you're going to eat that. All right, you don't make a butter sandwich and then start munching away on that at the table. That would be really bad form. So again, nobody wants to look like a jackass, so I highly advise you don't make the butter sandwich deal. So enough on the bread and the bread plate. I would love to get back to ordering a little bit since we did talk about menus. A lot of people want to know, when I order, I want to order with confidence and with grace, and I want to let everybody at the table know that I'm a real pro diner and I'm not a rookie. How do I do that, Mr. Wolfe? Great question. I would highly recommend you that you order in order. What do you mean order in order? Well, by that I mean order in the same order that you're going to eat your meal. So I want you to order your appetizer first and then your main course. Or if it's 3 courses, order your appetizer, then your salad, then your main course. A lot of people order the main course first because, I don't know why, I guess that's the main focus, and then they kind of work their way backwards. And this is tricky for everybody because, again, it's not just about you. Dining is a team sport, and everybody at the table is kind of looking to you to see, how many courses are they going to order, as maybe I want to order the same amount of courses so everything is smooth and goes off great. So what I would recommend is order your first course first, like this. I'd like to have the beet salad followed by the chicken. It's that easy. Just announce your appetizer course and then your main course in order. You don't want to say, I want to have the New York medium rare, and then you're forcing the waiter to say, gee, did you happen to wish a starter course, a salad or soup or an appetizer? And then the interrogation comes on and people are nervous and it's just not smooth. So again, I want to recommend you don't have to quote the entire menu or read off the menu. I want the Tamales Bay beets and the Point Reyes blue cheese dressing with the mosh farmed by Farmer Brown, blah, 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 blah. We get it. Just say, I want the beet salad, all right, and be done with it. And followed by the chicken. You don't have to go on and read the whole description on the chicken either. All right, so anyway, that's going to make it easier for everybody. I highly recommend, if you do have allergies, not only should you make this apparent when you make the reservation at the restaurant, maybe you're not the host, maybe you didn't make the reservation. So as soon as you sit down and the menus are handed out, and you start asking questions about the menu, ask the waiter right away about your concerns with your allergies. Now, here's what happens a lot of times is maybe you'll tell the waiter that you're allergic to nuts, let's say, or shellfish, and then everybody has a drink and the waiter's busy running around, and he comes back and gets your order. Well, at that point, the waiter may or may not have forgotten about that whole peanut shellfish discussion from earlier. So I would say, just to err on the side of caution, and gently remind them, oh, I'd like to have the beet salad followed by the chicken, and by the way, don't forget I have that whole nut shellfish allergy thing. At one point, the waiter will be grateful that you reminded him, and it's just a safeguard, and he'll make sure that the chefs all know, and they don't use the same pan to cook the chicken as they use for the shellfish or stuff like that. So just being kind of safe like that. As far as coursing, the restaurant will take care of this. We can course out the meal for you. You don't have to be in control of all that and order course by course, or tell the waiter what comes first and followed by what, followed by what. Every professional waiter knows that it's going to be cold shellfish or seafood, followed by warm appetizer, followed by cold salad. Is that how it goes? And then maybe it's soup, then cold salad, and then fish, then fowl, then meat, then cheese, then fruit, then dessert. Alright, that's the way it goes. Everybody knows the drill. It's written down in books for centuries, so you don't have to be a control freak and be all over that stuff yourself. We'll take care of that for you. Other than that, I was going to talk a little bit about sharing appetizers, but I think we'll cover that next week. And we're also going to get more into wine service next week as well. So until then, dine well, dine right. This is your host, Mr. Wolfe from dining101.net. Thanks for joining us.